Okay, cool.
Yeah, just stay up on your mic. You'll be all right. But yeah, so we're here, Rock and Roll Vortex episode number 1.
Number one.
What are we talking about tonight?
Tonight we are going to talk about my favorite band, Kiss. I was thinking what would be a subject that anybody or a topic that we could just most people could kick in. So I was thinking top song from each studio album, but it was really hard for me to pick one. So I went with top 2 songs from each studio album.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I mean, for me, as I went through the song, as I went through all the Kiss albums, there were some that were hard for me to pick too.
Well, AJ's not an 80s Kiss lover, that's for sure. I'm 70s, 80s, 90s. I'm 2000s. I'm all Kiss. So I'm ready to go. Yeah, I mean, my favorite album of all time is Alive. Without a doubt.
We're not even hitting on Alive today.
We are not hitting on Alive though, because we're just gonna do studio albums. That's it.
Yeah. Word. So top 2. So we got top 2 Kiss songs on each studio album. Do we want to kick this thing off?
Yeah.
Let's do it. And if if you're on Facebook or on YouTube, feel free to hop in, say hello,
hit us up.
We can see everybody's chat.
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk with the classic. This one actually was a little hard for me. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, it was very difficult for me too.
We got Kiss, the very, very first Kiss album.
Yes, we do.
Kiss.
So,
to preface this too, neither of us told each other our each favorite song. Like, this will be news to both of us. Neither of us, we never discussed it ahead of time.
So this album, my God, I remember seeing this album. I was not allowed to buy a Kiss album until Alive, when I sneakily bought one because my mom wouldn't let me. But I remember seeing this album and just being so fascinated. And God, I wanted to buy it. But while the production is a bit lame on the album, it's got the classics. And my top 2 songs are...
No, hit me with one song, okay. and then I'll hit you with one song. Gotcha. How about that? Let's do that. Let's do it that style.
I got to go with one of my all-time favorite songs, the first Kiss song I ever heard, which is Deuce.
Nice. Deuce is also on mine.
It is.
Okay. Deuce is one of mine. Why is Deuce one of yours?
Like I said, it was the first Kiss song I ever heard when I bought Kiss Alive with my grandpa. I put the needle on a record, Deuce. I loved it. I used to play that album day in and day out, over and over and over. And just Deuce is that kind of song, Although it sounds better on Alive, in my opinion. It's just a great song. And 96, when they came back and reunited, bam, it was the first song for that tour also. So it's just got a lot of good memories for me. Plus, it's a great song.
Yeah, I think it's one of my... So the 2 songs that I picked off I'm excited to see what your other song was, but the 2 songs that I picked off of this album was hard for me.
Yeah, me too.
This was one of the hard ones. Definitely one of the ones I was like, picking the 2 songs is hard. But the 2 songs I picked are probably my 2 favorite live Kiss songs.
Oh, me too.
So we might have the same song.
We might have the same songs, dude. I have a funny feeling you might have the second song I got.
Yeah, and which is crazy that they're on their first album, like they're 2 bangers, like
really?
right off the bat,
big time. And you know what? There's a lot of good songs in there. My second song is Black Diamond.
My second song is also Black Diamond.
I mean, it's just like the best. It's such a great concert song. It's got such a great drum part to it. Just the way it starts with Paul's vocal and then it switches over to Peter. Peter's got such a great voice. Right before the solo, the drums kind of come together.
Yeah, I agree. Sorry, I accidentally removed us from the stream. No, I totally agree. That it is definitely my favorite live Kiss song, I think. It's hard for me. I have 3 favorite live Kiss songs, and they're all pretty typical. But
mine too.
But I feel like when you just hear the "Get up and get your grandma out of here," like there's nothing beats that.
Yeah. I just remember thinking about the garden and wow, when that curtain drops, it's awesome.
Yeah, and then of course the beginning, like Paul comes out in the beginning of Black Diamond with that clean guitar, out on the streets for a living.
It's awesome.
And then it's just there's nothing like those 2 songs. So I think just it's kind of crazy that off their first album, like Kiss kind of, for me at least, nailed the live stuff.
No doubt about it. Plus, it just, I gotta be honest, the bass tracks on that album are great. Cold Gin, 100,000 Years. There's so many good songs on there. It really,
Yeah, it was hard.
There's a couple of duds like the love theme from Kiss. I wasn't a big fan of it, Kissing Time, but it is what it is. It's their first album.
Yeah, there was definitely a handful of songs on that album that were like almost made the top 2 for me. But I went strictly on them being my favorite live. Like that's how I made the choice.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Right. Nice.
Hotter Than Hell.
Hotter Than Hell. Let's keep it moving. So so anyone who's just hopping in the stream, we are talking about our top 2 favorite songs on each Kiss album. So we're moving into album number 2, which is
Hotter Than Hell.
Hotter Than Hell.
So this album, I actually, it has such a muddy production, but I kind of grown to like it. The first 2 albums were by Richie Weiss and Kenny Kerner. They were produced by them. But the weird thing is Eddie Kramer had produced their demo, and Eddie Kramer, who had produced Led Zeppelin and Jimi Hendrix, I don't think they could afford him in the beginning, I'm thinking, because the first album he ever produced was Alive. But
yeah.
This album's muddy, and I kind of like the way it sounds now. It's got like almost like it's recorded in like a basement or a garage. My first favorite jam on there.
Give me one.
The first favorite jam on there it's such a great riff, Parasite.
Me too.
I mean, it is.
First track. It's one of my favorite Kiss Kiss riffs that like that it just like hits.
It does. And it stops, and it's got the it's a great live song. It really is a good live song. That's a great song. I love that song.
Agreed. I mean, everything about that song too. Like, I really like the verse riff. The down, 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 I don't know, just that whole. I don't know. It's a great start to a record. It's raw. Like the whole Hotter Than Hell production is like really like
it is.
It's old sounding. It's raw. It's really.
I agree.
I don't know. It hits. But it's kind of funny that we're 3 songs into this and we've had all the same songs so far without discussing ahead of time.
Well, Ace wrote Parasite, so it'd be interesting to hear him sing it. I've heard him play it in concert, solo, but it's usually like, the other singer that does it. Ace never seems to do that one. I wonder what it would have been like in 1974 to hear Ace sing that. All right, my second song.
All right, yeah, what's your second song? And then I'll tell you mine.
I love this song, and it's a great, great concert song. It's much better on a live, but Let Me Go Rock and Roll.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, okay, so why?
We have not even discussed it.
Yeah, this is kind of hilarious because I thought this was going to be the moment where maybe we had a different song. No, yeah, mine is also Let Me Go Rock and Roll. Let me hear you why we might have different reasons.
I just like it's like a very driving song. It's got like good parts to it. I like when you try so hard to believe you never hardly know. Plus the Alive version with Ace's solo is just so good. It's just one of those songs, and I think that's what they ended that concert with, that tour. Even though it's the last song on the album, so I'm assuming that's what they ended when they were doing the Alive tour, which was really the Dress to Kill tour.
I actually like how it's kind of a departure from a lot of other Kiss music in the sense that it's still got the like rock and roll feel, but it's very bluesy.
Very bluesy.
It's like it's like a blues rock track. That whole riff in the beginning, like it's just like the whole, even the verse that it's just a very bluesy Kiss track. So I don't know. That's kind of where I'm at with it.
I'm sorry.
No, it's
a great live song. It really is a good live song, especially when they get in the middle. It's like dun, 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 dun. It's a really good live song. Thank God they're doing it on End of the Road. I'm very happy about that.
Yeah.
All right.
Agreed.
Dress to Kill.
Yeah, that's right. Well, let me pull up the album cover. All right, so maybe we'll actually have different. So far, we're 4 for 4 on having the same exact songs that we like by Kiss. But if anyone also in the chat is a
Yeah,
Kiss.
man.
If anyone's a Kiss fan, feel free to drop your favorite Kiss songs off any of these albums.
Yeah.
We would love to know.
Oh,
All right, so let's hit it. Dress to Kill. What I love this album cover.
Me
First
too,
off,
man.
let's just say let's talk album cover for a second. I love how Gene's suit doesn't fit at all.
Right. Well, it was he borrowed the suits from Bill Coyne and Bill Coyne's lover, evidently, because they didn't have suits, and they stood at 25th. Oh, where is this? I just took a picture.
I was gonna say, didn't you just take a picture?
I just took a picture. 25th and oh man, I have it. 25th and something. It's downtown. I just took them in October. I took a ride down there. I took a picture in the city at that exact spot, and where Physical Graffiti, Led Zeppelin, was the album cover for that. Okay, so I love this album. It has a really clean pop sound to it because Neil Bogart produced it, and Neil Bogart was the president of Casablanca, and they were running out of money. Kiss, they weren't selling the first two albums, so this one actually has a really good sound. My first favorite jam on this is a great song, "Come On and Love Me."
Nice. We have a different. We finally have hit a spot where we have a different song.
Okay.
Cool. Why do you like "Come On and Love Me" so much?
It's a Paul Stanley song. I don't know. It's just kind of like the way it starts with like a little bit of like, it's almost like a 12 string. It's probably not. Just a good song. I don't know. It's good. I like the lyrics, even though they're a little corny.
Paul's lyrics are always a little corny.
They are.
We love you, Paul.
If
you see Rock and Roll Vortex, please know we love you, and we would love to have you on in the future.
Yeah, fat chance that'll happen. Yeah, I love that song. I do. I like it on the live, but I tell you, I like it on. I actually do prefer the studio version of that song. Plus, the last time I met them in Brooklyn, they were playing "Come On, Love Me" when I got to take my picture with them. So.
Nice.
Paul Stanley touched me when they were playing "Come On, Love Me." So it was kind of cool.
My first one is actually Two Timer.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, I like Two Timer. I really like the chorus in Two Timer.
Yep.
I think it's super catchy, the Two Timer. And I also really like the riff in the beginning.
It has like a Stones feel to it. Like
it
Rolling
does,
Stones,
yeah.
right?
It's very rock and roll.
It is.
It's very like kind of classic Kiss, but also kind of not classic Kiss.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think this whole Out record actually is pretty like, when I think of Kiss, like this is the sound I kind of think of in a lot of ways.
Right.
Between this and like Destroyer, I feel like those two albums are like the two albums that like kind of give me the like, this is what Kiss sounds like.
Okay.
I don't know about you, but that's kind of just the basis of what, like when I listen to some of the, and we'll get into it in a little bit, but like some of those 80s records, I'm like, this isn't Kiss.
Right.
I'm like, this is Kiss to me. Like,
I understand.
yeah,
I get it.
Two Timer is my first.
Okay, that's a great song, man. I love that song. Actually, Two Timer was a little bit of an old song. If you knew, I mean, evidently they wrote some of these songs as they were recording the album, and it's such a short album too. It's like less than a half hour. I think it's like 25 minutes or something.
Yeah, no, it's super short.
And I noticed. Okay, well, I was gonna say the next song on there is "Love Her All I Can."
Wow, we have two different songs.
Oh wow, okay, good.
Two different songs for this album. Okay, so what's good with "Love Her All I Can"? Oh my
god, I just love it. So it's one of those songs where the verse is kind of the chorus and the chorus is the verse. If you listen to it, it's got a great guitar solo. I mean, Ace's guitar solo is excellent in that. I like the chorus. It's just a unique song because it's just kind of reversed, but it's not. I love it.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
And a good riff too.
Yeah, it is a good riff. Mine is one of the first Kiss riffs I think I ever learned on guitar, and that's why I picked it. Which is "She."
Yeah, awesome song.
Awesome song. It was one of the first Kiss songs I think I actually ever learned on guitar, and I'm not sure why. I think I was just like teaching myself. I think I was teaching myself like just by tabs online. You know how I used to do in the basement. Like I just come down here and I would like sit on the computer, and it just seemed like an easy one. Well, even though the riff is like really cool, I was just like, oh, it seems easy enough. Right. So when I was 11 or whatever,
was it easy?
Yeah, it's pretty easy. It's an easier riff, right. and yeah, I don't know, just it something about it. I remember just learning the whole thing because there's the riffs are all kind of similar too. That like dun, 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 dun,
it's heavy. It's definitely a heavy song. It's a very heavy song. I like how Anthrax covered it 2 years later.
Oh yeah. That's
on
right.
"Kiss My Ass."
Yeah, that's right.
You can't get that on many. I don't think you can get that on iTunes or Spotify either, man.
No.
That's a tough one to get. I don't know.
What? Oh, Kiss My
Kiss
Ass.
My
The
Ass.
covers.
Yeah, I haven't
Yeah.
seen it. I haven't seen it. All right, so man, I mean,
Dress to Kill. I mean, Dress to Kill is classic. I
it
mean,
really
look
is.
at the album cover.
It
The
really
album
is
cover
awesome. Think about it. I
Yeah,
mean,
the album cover is
it's cool.
the best.
Really, really good album.
All right, let's keep it moving. I'm gonna pull up the next album cover. So the next one was hard for me again.
We're doing only studio albums. Did I mention that? No live albums.
Only studio albums.
No live albums or greatest hits albums.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, Destroyer.
Yeah. Destroyer is the next Kiss album in order, and this one was hard because I feel like this is one of the like I don't know. It's one of the, like everybody's kind of top Kiss album. We got the blanket right here. We got the Kiss Destroyer blanket.
To put it back in like time perspective for me, I was totally into Alive. So that comes out in like October of 75. And that was it. I mean, I was just heavy into it. And then this album came out in March of 76. And I hadn't even known it was coming out, but it was on the back of this magazine, Rock Scene. And I just looked at that picture.
Like
this was like the beginning of Super Kiss, man. It was like, holy shit.
This album cover is like
awesome.
I feel like anyone that, even if you don't really know Kiss, like you think Kiss, you think of this album cover.
You do.
Like this is like the album cover for Kiss,
and this,
in my opinion.
You know, this album, like I didn't hear it. I was only 10 when it came out, but I was, you know, a fan. But a lot of the hardcore fans didn't like it. They thought they kind of sold out and got a little popish. Bob Ezrin produced it, and that was the big thing because Bob Ezrin produced Alice Cooper, and he's just a different kind of guy. But what a freaking classic album, dude! I love that album.
Yeah. All right. So what are your songs? What are your two favorite songs off Destroyer?
I mean, Detroit Rock City is the first.
That's my first two.
Yeah. I mean, it's just how do you not love Detroit Rock City? It sounds corny, but it's a fucking great song.
No, I like Detroit Rock City is. I know that they open with Deuce sometimes, and Deuce, like I said, is one of my favorite Kiss live songs. But like Detroit Rock City is the opener to
it is. I couldn't agree with you more.
In my opinion, that like you that, and then so many things spawned off that song. It's just like it's like when you think of Kiss, like when someone says, "Yo, play Kiss," that's what on guitar. That's what I play.
Okay.
You know, like when he's like, "Oh, yo, play Kiss," I play Detroit Rock City. That's like the like
that first. Well, I was gonna say the first 3 songs on that album are like classic. They screwed it up with Great Expectations, in my opinion, but whatever. Okay.
Yeah, 100%. All right.
Second song.
It's kind of funny. All right. Now you say the Great Expectations thing. It's kind of funny because I actually like that song.
I don't hate it. It just kind of comes after God of Thunder. And as the Harlem Boys Choir, it just was a little. I like to put like a stop to it until you got the Flaming Youth. You know,
I just like it live. Like I think it's a pretty cool live song.
Okay.
I think didn't they do that one with the symphony?
They did.
Yeah, I feel like it really went well with that.
They did. Yeah.
And I always thought that was. I thought the chorus was pretty good, but I can see what you're saying. Like where it is in the album is kind of weird.
Well, because you used to put an album, an actual record.
I totally get what you're saying. All right, so what's number 2?
God of Thunder.
It's me
just such a classic song. It's got such a great bass line. It's just so heavy. The little kids in the backgrounds making it creepy. That's actually Bob Ezrin's kids that were just fooling around inside the studio one day, and they decided to just kind of keep it in because it sounds creepy. And it does. And if you heard the original, I'm sure most Kiss fans have heard Paul Stanley wrote that in the original God of Thunder. It's so different, you know, this version, and Bob Ezrin nailed it. It was definitely a Gene song.
I think that it's like the beginning of that Gene sound.
Yep.
Like on any of the albums, I feel like God of Thunder is the beginning of that just like dark demon sound for Gene that kind of carried on, which is one of my favorite Kiss sounds.
The Gene
dark sound that comes throughout a lot of the other albums.
Well, Going Blind, going back a little bit, was like that on Hotter Than Hell. It just has creepy friggin' lyrics.
Yeah. The lyrics, it doesn't really have like the demonic stuff as much.
No, it's just creepy, man.
Yeah, the lyrics are super weird.
Also, I mean, I remember our first Kiss cruise. We've been on 4 Kiss cruises. 4.
Yeah.
4. We get on the boat. It's 2015. AJ and I are there. We get a couple of drinks, and they do a Sail Away show. And I had never heard Flaming Youth live, and that's what they started the Sail Away show with. What a great Kiss memory! I'm with my son. We're on a boat. We're headed to wherever we were headed. I don't remember, Mexico. And there's Paul Stanley at Kiss doing Flaming Youth. I had never heard it. It was so epic, man. It really was cool.
Yeah, it was pretty
Great
cool.
album. I love that album.
It was pretty cool.
I even like Beth.
Yeah, I mean, you can't go wrong with Beth. It's Beth.
It is what it is, man. You know, that's the album that's the song that really pushed that album because the album was selling, but that kind of pushed it over the top. It actually made People's Choice Awards like for Song of the Year.
Yeah.
Then the next year, yeah. All right,
let's keep it moving.
This album is gonna be tough. The next one, man.
I know,
this is a really hard one for me.
This was a hard one for me too. Thanks to everyone that's here and checking this out.
Yeah, man. Thanks. Rock and roll.
And
you know what? Put in the comments or click subscribe. What do you say? I watch a million. Like, subscribe.
I think we forgot to update this Facebook status, but there's a Rock and Roll Vortex Facebook page now, and there's also a Rock and Roll Vortex YouTube channel. So please feel free to check that out. Maybe we'll put the links up.
Yeah, and give us some suggestions.
A little later.
Some plans. AC/DC, Judas Priest, the Beatles. A Beatles one, but it's gonna be heavy on the Kiss. I got a lot of Kiss stuff I want to do. There's so many good podcasts, like Three Sides of the Coin and Almost Human. Almost Human.
Yeah.
Sea of Tranquility. I love all those podcasts.
Yeah, for sure.
I love this album. My God, do I love this.
Let's pull it up.
And I love the album cover. It's just such a classic cover. It really is cool. Very Japanese looking.
Yeah, no, I actually have considered getting this tattooed.
Me too.
It's pretty cool.
It is a very cool cover.
I like the circle look on it.
Yeah, I still have the plastic. They came with not plastic, sticker set.
Oh yeah.
Each piece comes off. Yeah, I still have those stickers. Believe it or not.
It's pretty cool. I have a patch on my jean jacket with this.
Yeah, that's a great album, and this was really hard for me. This is a really hard one.
It was less hard for me than some of the others, but yeah, I think I got my two. I wonder if our two are similar. So what? All right,
I don't know about that one.
What? Yeah, probably not. What's your number one?
Okay, my number one's gonna be "I Want You."
Okay, cool. That's not my number one, but I do love that song.
Yeah. So my memories of it's just a great song to start off with. It's just kind of cool, but the first time I heard that, there was a show called Don Kirshner's. I'm so old. Don Kirshner's Rock Concert. That's how you listen to music. I got to see bands back in the day. It was on like Channel 5 at about 12:30 on Saturday night or Sunday morning.
Yeah.
And when this album came out, they did 3 songs. They lip synced it, but it was "I Want You," "Love 'Em and Leave 'Em," and "Hard Luck Woman." And I just remember how awesome that was. I couldn't wait. Too bad we didn't have VCRs back in 1976. But yeah, I love "I Want You." It's just, it's a heavy song. It's just the way it starts is great. Good solo.
I mean, it's also classic live. I want you.
Totally classic.
I want you. My first was actually "Take Me."
Ah, okay.
I think it's one of my. It's like I like it live too. I like the riffs, but I also really like it's just catchy that yeah. So take me.
There's not a bad song.
I like the lack of lyric sometimes.
Okay.
I think it's like catchy to just like throw in the ahs and the yes and like just put a melody to it and say, yep, that's what the part is. Like it's not too overthought. It's not like, oh, I have to write lyrics into these syllables and like as a songwriter, that's the stuff you do. It's just like, no, we're just gonna say ah.
Yeah. Plus, it's catchy too. Yeah. It just sticks in your head. You don't even have to remember the words.
Yeah,
It sounds like you forgot the words actually when you're doing it.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a great song. Actually, that's an old concert song too. They did that. "Making Love" they used to do. Okay, my second. It's one of my all-time favorite songs. Never mind Kiss songs.
All right.
It's probably a shocker, but I love "Hard Luck Woman" by Peter Criss. I just love it.
Nice.
It's a Paul Stanley song that wrote it, but it's just a great.
I wouldn't have thought that.
I know. I just love that song. I listen to it a lot.
That's awesome. I wouldn't have thought that. I do like. I think the first time that I really appreciated that song was when I heard it. Funny enough, the Garth Brooks version.
Yeah, right.
When he did it, like it was pretty good. It's a great song. I mean, they always kill it live too, and.
Paul Stanley evidently wrote that with Rod Stewart in mind, and then the story is Rod rejected it. So Peter Criss has like a Rod Stewart voice, and I'm glad he rejected it.
Nice.
You know, we got a Kiss song. I love that song.
Oh yeah, I agree. That's a good one. Mine is so we didn't have either of the same on this album. Mine is Mr. Speed.
Oh yeah, see, that's such a great song too, man.
It is one of my
It
favorite.
really is.
It's one of my favorite Kiss riffs.
It
That
really is
that like that riff is just one of my all-time favorite Kiss riffs, and
I used to play that on a jukebox in CYO. It was the flip B side of Hard Luck Woman, believe it or not.
oh, nice.
Yeah, so and I love that song too. That's why this album was so hard for me, man. It was real because I love Mr. Speed. Man, it's a good one. Dr. Love, think about it.
Yeah,
Son,
there's
Dr.
too many,
Love.
and also it is like, again, to bring it back, it is like one of the coolest, by far, I think, coolest Kiss album covers.
This album, Eddie Kramer finally came. You know, he produced a live, like I said, but after Ezrin, they took on Eddie Kramer, and he got the sound he thought. You know, they were looking for a more rock and roll and less like how Destroyer's kind of like that showy big sound. They were just looking for more like a more raw rock and roll. And it was recorded in Nanuet, about 20 minutes north of us, half hour north of us.
Oh wow,
It was in Rockland County. Yeah,
I didn't know that. That's pretty cool.
There's an old theater they recorded it in to get a live sound.
That's pretty neat.
It is.
I didn't know that. All right, we'll keep it moving.
Of course.
All right, so what do we got next? What's the next Kiss album?
Love Gun.
Oh yeah, this one was.
Man, this was a tough one for me too.
Was it a tough one for you?
Well, I got a couple songs I really like on there, but I had to pick. You know what? I just had to pick the top two.
All right,
it's
so
tough. It's so hard.
What's the first one for you on Love Gun? As I tried to
it's
navigate here.
One of my top Kiss songs, "I Stole Your Love."
Nice. That's a good one.
And that's the song that they actually started the tour, the Alive 2, which was, I guess, the Love Gun tour.
Yeah.
That's the song that they actually started the concert with. But when
really?
they put Alive out, they had to make it where they took out a lot of the Alive songs, Alive 2 rather. You know, because the Alive 2 was only 2 years earlier. So they kind of redid it. But yeah, that was the song they started that tour off with, which is a great, great song. I love that song.
All right. So for me, my first one is so I'm going with I feel like two sounds I really like of Kiss. I mentioned earlier is I really like the Gene sound, but I also really like the Ace sound.
Oh yeah,
because I feel like when you see the Ace sound, and all the love to Ace, but it's just like you're watching this dude play like massive shows in arenas, and he like can kind of hold a tune. And and
that's Ace.
And that's Ace.
What you love about Ace.
And it was like it's like moving on past Kiss. It's like the punk rock mentality of like you don't have to be that good. You just have to be like do it.
Right.
And so I'm going Shock Me.
Of course.
As my first guy.
That's a good one, man. And that was tough. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, well, he laid on his back to sing that song, you know. He's got his voice is his voice. I mean, you know, you grow to love it. Or hate it, but his voice is his voice.
Yeah, know? I mean it's classic.
Yeah, it's
how many times have we seen Ace at this point? And
right.
Never mind just with Kiss, but also Ace.
Oh my god,
on his own.
Ridiculous.
And yeah.
Well, how many times have you seen Kiss?
I've seen Kiss. I think I counted 26.
All right, so I'm at 57, and that's just Kiss. Then you got Ace Paul
yeah.
Stanley. Yeah, it's been
a
lot of Kiss. Okay. My second jam on that is gonna, and this was super tough because I like a few songs on there. I had to go with Love Gun just because it's so classic.
I did too,
but I was really close to Almost Human. I love that song, and Tomorrow and Tonight's a good one. But yeah, I had to go with Love Gun.
I want Love.
So classic. The riff is just Love Gun, you know. What a great song.
The reason I chose Love Gun is because, again, kind of flashing back to being younger and like learning how to play guitar. Love Gun, that solo is one of the first like harder guitar solos that I learned. That
okay.
We used to play it over at the Pier View.
Yep,
and
I remember that. Yep.
And like it was one of those like, oh, that's so cool moments of like, yo, this young kid can play. And I just have like a memory tied to the song.
Yeah.
So I just had to go with it because of the memory of like it just I have something connected to it. I feel like
it's a great album. Almost Human is like a real sleeper song on there, man. It's heavy, you know. It's got a good sound to it. But I love Love Gun.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong. All right, we're pushing through.
We got Alive too. Did you pick your favorite song on that?
I thought we were only doing studio
Well, I
albums.
said I sent you the. All right, no big deal.
All right, go.
Alive too. The fourth side had 5 songs.
Okay, so all right, I didn't, but you go. Let's see.
Rocket Ride is my favorite.
Oh
I
yeah,
love
yeah.
Rocket Ride. I like All American Man, but Rocket Ride's my jam, man.
I mean,
and I don't know if you could even count the last song. It's Any Way You Want It. It was like a Dave Clark 5 song.
okay.
I mean, you could count it, but yeah, Rocket Ride is just awesome. And in a lot of ways, I like Rocket Ride better. I don't say better than Shock Me. It's just got a really good sound to it, you know? You know, it's kind of like it sounds like a rocket taking off.
He still plays, and we've seen Ace how many times, and he still plays Rocket Ride probably every time he plays.
Yep, I've seen him open with it, which was cool. That's a good song to open with. Here we go.
All right, so Dynasty. Let's talk Dynasty for a second.
All right. Now this is kind of when a lot of people were stepping away from Kiss. It kind of got a little Vegas-y looking. But
this is where when I went through the albums to prepare for this, I started getting a little weird. I was like, I don't know, because this and through the next almost rest of the albums, I was like,
okay,
iffy on a lot of them.
Okay. Well, Dynasty is like, it was the first time I saw Kiss, so it's like 4 years into like being a huge fan, but it was the first concert I went to. And it's a different album. It's kind of poppy, has a clean sound, and evidently Peter Criss didn't play on anything but his song. Anton Fig did all the drum.
Oh, really?
That's what the rumor is, and I believe it. But there are some songs that it's weird. Okay, so my favorite song on that album, is "Dirty Living" by Peter Criss. It's a great song. I think it's a song people kind of gloss over, but it's awesome, man. It's got like a swing to it. It's got a great vocal. It's driving. It's a good song. A great chorus. I love it.
All right,
that's it. I love that song.
Fair enough. My first one was 2000 Man.
Okay.
Honestly, I don't love this album in general. It's not my favorite. So there was like only a few songs for me to pick from. But both songs I picked were Ace songs, going back to loving that Ace sound.
Okay.
I picked 2 Ace songs from this album, and 2000 Man was the first one. And I think I just tie it to a lot of the times we've seen Ace and how he still kind of rocks that song a lot.
I didn't put that one. That's not my second, and I was fighting it because I love it, but I was like, it's not a Kiss. I mean, it is a Kiss song because Ace made it his own.
Yeah.
Because if you ever hear the Rolling Stones version, it's like a folk song.
Yeah.
So I was close on mine, but my second pick is so lame, but I really love this song and I love it live. It's "I Was Made for Loving You."
I mean,
I just love the that's like live. When it's live, it's kind of like downtuned. Am I right? Or it just has like a that. I like that song. It is what it is, man.
No, it's one of those songs that like when you go on Spotify, that's their top song.
Right.
That's like one of those songs that like
I feel lame picking it, but it is what it is. I love
non-Kiss fans love that song.
Right, but I'm a Kiss fan, and I just love that song.
It's a great song. I mean, that is what it is. It's a great song. I almost picked it too. But I actually ended up picking Hard Times instead.
That's an awesome one.
I think that the beginning of it is something that doesn't really exist in many Kiss songs. And it's that the riff, and then it kind of goes back between the riff and the bass. And there's some weird stuff happening there that you don't hear from Kiss very often. And that's the reason why I chose
that's a great song. And you know what? One song I do want to bring up is "Save Your Love." I don't know if you remember, but our last Kiss cruise we were on, Ace was on the boat, and he started his first set with "Save Your Love" from Dynasty, which is like the last song I would ever think, and it was awesome. So ever since then, I've been really into the song. It's just a good song, but
nice.
It's just I would never expect "Save Your Love" to be the first song.
Nice. All right. So this is where you're starting to move into some weird Kiss territory. I think
I'm good with all the Kiss stuff, but yeah, it could get weird.
I'm flipping into the when we get to Unmasked and music from the Elder. I don't know about either of these next albums for me, but what do you got? What do you?
So Unmasked is a tough one for me because 1980, they didn't tour with this one. They went over to Australia. They played one show in the Palladium my mom wouldn't let me go to.
Where was the Palladium?
14th Street. It
Okay.
was small, but I went to see. That's when I went to see AC/DC a few weeks later by myself. Remember I told you my
Yeah.
story. So I was kind of getting even with.
This
my
does
mom.
have one of the coolest album
It's a
covers.
great album cover, and it's very poppy. This song, and it's kind of where they this Dynasty and this one got a little. They just it started to fall off, in my opinion, just a little bit. For the time, because if you have to realize 1980, you know, you have like Ozzy Osbourne, Blizzard of Oz, you have Sabbath with Dio, you have Judas Priest popping up, AC/DC's out, so the music landscape's kind of changing, and Kiss is very poppy with this album, and Anton Fig evidently played every drum part on this album.
Word.
All right. So my favorite song on this one, one of my favorite songs is "Easy as It Seems" by Paul Stanley.
Okay. And
just a good vocal and just good. I like the bass line.
Okay, that's solid. I had a hard time with this album. But I went with Torpedo Girl as my first song, and one of the main reasons, honestly, is that intro bass part.
How crazy is that? Because that's why I picked Torpedo Girl as my second song.
Okay.
It's like funky, right? It's like doom 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 doom. It's like it's just so different.
It's like a funk line,
and then it gets tight, right? It's like dun, 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 dun. I love that song. I love that. It's quirky. It's weird. I don't think Ace likes it, but man, I agree with you 100%. It's the way that song starts. It's like it just catches you.
Yeah. It's exactly. It's like kind of right off the bat. It's like it just catches you, and you're like, oh, okay, cool. This is cool. Different. It's cool.
It really is. It's definitely a very good song. I like that a lot.
All right, what's your second?
That was it. Torpedo Girl.
Oh, it's Torpedo Girl. Sorry, I picked two sides of the coin.
Okay.
And I guess I just went with this one more so again because of the Ace thing, and just like I just still like connect that to seeing Ace live a lot and watching Ace and all of that. So, yeah, I don't know. I just connected it to that more than anything. It's like a personal connection. It's not these are not my favorite Kiss albums, so it's kind of hard for me to come through some of these.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Unmasked. But I do like it. I mean, you know, there's some songs. It was that time where things were kind of getting a little, you know, when I look back to 1980, it's just like there was so much other music coming out, and Kiss was kind of, you know, I always loved Kiss, but they were putting out albums that were just a little different.
Agreed.
All right,
let's keep it moving.
Oh my God, this was a tough one.
Music from the Elder. This was for me. I only picked one song.
Okay. So
I just couldn't. There was almost nothing redeeming on here for me.
Yeah, it was. I mean, this is where it was like really tough for me, because when I put that album on, and it starts off with, you know, it's just, it was. I didn't understand it. I didn't get it. I didn't dig it.
It's weird. It's just like they were just trying to be weird, I think.
No, they were going to be. It was going to be an album. They wanted to be taken seriously. It was going to be a movie, rather, and they wanted to be taken seriously. That was supposed to be for a movie, but there never was a movie. That's Paul Stanley's hand, actually.
Oh, really?
I remember buying this and just being so disappointed. You know, it was just disappointing. I didn't understand it, but I picked a couple good ones. There's a couple good jams on there. My first one's Dark Light by Ace. He also, I saw him do that on the boat. We saw him do that on the cruise, and I love the solo, because during the solo there's nothing but like a drum and a bass. It's awesome. It's a decent song, so that's one of them. But this is a tough album for me.
All right, my only song off this album was I picked The Oath.
Okay.
And honestly, I only really picked it because of the really heavy guitar intro, which is probably one of the heaviest guitar riffs on any Kiss album, maybe. It sounds like a metal. It's like a metal. It's like a metal riff. I think the chorus with Paul Stanley's falsetto vocals are honestly just kind of hysterical.
I like that falsetto. I do. I really do. I do. But then when I look at him, the way he was dressed back then, he had like grapes on around, or olives on his neck, or anal beads. He wore this big purple like bandana. It was just weird, man. It was just a weird time.
Yeah. Yeah, not my favorite album. So just go with your
Man,
second song.
my
'cause-
second song was The Oath also.
Oh, it's also the oath.
Yeah, I
All
like
right.
Escape from the Island, which is a no vocal. It's an instrumental, but I went with The Oath. But again, I'm not. I love all Kiss albums. This one's just a little slipped up for me.
I feel you.
Not my favorite.
I
Just
feel you.
different. It's not. It's like I don't even know how to describe it.
All right, cool. Let's keep it moving.
Now, when this one came out,
Creatures of the Night. This is a good
man,
record.
So
It
I
started to
remember-
come back a little bit.
So when I'm thinking back now, this came out in '82. So you had Dynasty, okay, and then you had Unmasked, and then you had The Elder. So, then there was, like I keep saying, there was so much good music by 1982 besides Judas Priest and Sabbath with Dio and Ozzy and just Iron Maiden and the new wave of British heavy metal. But this album kicked ass. This album really kicked ass. They toured, but they didn't tour anywhere near the tri-state area. I think the tour was a bit of a bomb, to be honest with you.
Well, it's
But
probably
it's a great fucking
it's because they were
album.
coming 2 albums off of not great.
That's exactly
a
what
lot of
it
people
was.
probably lost a lot of interest.
And Paul wanted to take the makeup off on this album, but
Oh, yeah.
Gene said no. And I think that would have probably been a good idea because this album's heavy, man. It's really heavy. Michael James Jackson produced it, and it's just got a great drum sound.
yeah, I mean you got that Eric Carr drums. So
Heavy.
what are your songs? Let's see what we got.
Creatures is my favorite, but my favorite on the. It's one of my top 2. Creatures.
Okay.
The actual title track. It's just heavy. It's a good song. I like it.
Is there anything you specifically remember about that song? Maybe like while you were listening to it, or like when it came out, or anything? Was that your instant favorite?
Well, just to hear the drums, like to put it on after The Elder, and a year later to put on, how it starts with that big drum sound and it just tears into a great riff. It was like, holy shit, this is it. Kiss is back. This is what Kiss is supposed to be playing.
Nice. I went with a really classic live Kiss song, which is "I Love It Loud."
Awesome.
Hey, yeah.
How can you hate that song?
I mean, it's
a good song, man.
It is what it is. It's when you're at the show, it's one of those songs that even if you just came with your friend, because
he would know I love it loud.
You could sing that one. I think it goes back to the just making syllables instead of lyrics, but like making it catchy.
Well, that was the video for the album too. I Love It Loud.
Okay, I didn't.
But they just looked weird. Like Gene cut his hair, and just if you saw Gene's shoes, man. Oh my God, they were so bizarre looking. They look like a nun's shoes or something. I don't know what the hell he was wearing, man. Well, for Creatures though, they got a little heavier. They changed up the Elder outfits a little. They started to look a little better, but
nice.
And then my second jam is War Machine, man. I love that
Same.
song. It's just so heavy.
Same.
That's a Gene sound.
I was gonna say that goes back to the Gene sound.
The riff.
That's the only acceptable God of Thunder replacement in a live show.
Right. Well, and here's the thing too. Like a lot of people complain that they don't do Firehouse anymore when he breathes fire, but the truth is, like, it wouldn't fit in End of the Road. Like War Machine fits better than.
I'm sorry, that's what I meant. I meant to say Firehouse.
Right, but woo woo,
yeah. I was thinking of Unholy for for God of Thunder.
But yeah, so like yeah.
All right. Well, we're moving.
We're moving.
There
we go.
There's a lot of Kiss albums. There's 20 Kiss albums for anyone who just is
20 Kiss studio albums.
Studio albums.
28 or 29 albums altogether.
For anyone who's just joining us in, feel free to say hello in the chat. We can read all your messages and comments. We are talking about the top Kiss album, our top 2 songs from each Kiss album, as stated on the screen. All right, so we're moving into the no makeup era of Kiss now, which is an interesting era for them, I would say. We're at Lick It Up. So what do you got?
Lick It Up is my favorite non-makeup Kiss album. I really like this album.
There's a lot of good songs on this.
That's a really good.
There's a lot of good songs.
And I remember this is when Kiss was back. It was like this album came out and it was good. And I got to be honest, I'm not a big fan of the title track. That's probably the weakest song on the album to me. I like it, but I'm not a big fan of the title track.
All right, so what's it for you? What's the first song?
A Million to One by Paul Stanley.
Okay.
Great song, great vocal. I just like it a lot. You know,
Nice,
good
nice.
vocal.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Mine for me is the first track,
Exciter.
Exciter. Yeah, I think it's classic '80s Paul.
Yep.
It kind of brought in this whole era of. I think this is like in the '80s. Paul's where he started to really push the limits of the like
Yeah.
kind of thing that he still does a lot now.
Right,
Live.
but he can't. You know, he's
Yeah.
Back then, he was a very
Hey, people.
powerful,
Yeah.
powerful vocalist. But a few surgeries later, it's
I mean, he's still
he's almost 70 years
I
old.
think he still kills it. To be
Yeah,
honest,
he's awesome.
Even on that Kiss live stream we watched, I think he was still killing it. But yeah, that Exciter, that opening track, I think is probably my favorite. Maybe my favorite song on the album. Actually, no, it's my second favorite. My other song is my favorite.
Okay, this was tough for me because I like a lot of songs on this album. All Hell's Breaking Loose is one of them, but my second favorite is Young and Wasted. It's just heavy. I like the way it starts. It's just a heavy drum sound. It's a good one. Gene's got a good vocal on that too. Great bass.
All right, solid. Mine is All Hell's Breaking Loose.
Okay, yeah.
This is another one of those riffs I feel like I learned pretty early on. That it's
got a great riff.
Yeah, it's definitely one of my favorite Kiss riffs, probably. I've said that a few times now, but I would say that this is up there again and one of my favorite Kiss riffs. I also really the chorus is good, you can't.
And if you think about
it's
it,
like that gang vocal, it's kind of vibe, like everybody, oh hell's breaking loose.
Right.
It's got everybody on it.
And Paul's rapping. And that's
yeah.
It's 1983. Think about that.
Yeah, that's cool.
I
didn't even know that.
Yeah, I mean, Run DMC, I don't even know if Run DMC was around it. You had cool, you had rappers, but it was a little different. It hadn't really broken out yet.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I didn't really even think of that.
Yeah. Which was cool. I thought that he said, it's kind of like that Blondie used to rap in '78. Hard. All right.
It's getting weird as we move on. Some of these albums coming up next are not my favorite Kiss albums, but we'll keep it moving. So Animalize is the next Kiss album we got.
So Animalize is a little like Paul Stanley produced this by himself, and this is when Gene was doing his Hollywood shit. So he was not very involved. He was in movies and he was doing his thing, and Paul produced the album, and Paul has the obviously stronger songs, and there are really weak Gene songs on this album.
Okay. I could definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
What are your songs?
I've Had Enough, Into the Fire. The first song's cool. I like the way it starts. That's a good one.
All right. What is it about the song that makes it top for you? Is this like
it's a Paul? Like he kind of like pleads in the song, like during it's like he's just got a really good, sincere vocal, and it's got a great drum track, and I just like the chorus.
Yeah.
It's a good song.
Right.
It's a good starting song. It's not crazy about the album. It's good, but
it's not the best.
No, you can tell that Gene was not involved.
Gotcha.
100%.
I'm going. My first one is "Heaven's on Fire."
Okay,
pretty classic.
The classic
Kiss song. I also like the lack. I gotta use this more. The lack of putting lyrics in songs and doing do's instead of that. It's just like. It's catchy, you can do it and anyone can sing it live.
Whoa, yeah, that's one of those songs like when they play it live, everybody's into it.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, okay, that's a great song.
So I'm going "Heaven's on Fire." What's
my second is actually "While the City Sleeps." It's a Gene song, but it's got a great riff. I like it a lot.
Even though this is do you think this is the weakest Gene album, Animalize?
Without a doubt. I mean, I'll go to Carnival of Souls later. There's a lot I don't like about that album.
Yeah, that was.
This is just a weak Gene album. It is.
Right.
I think he admitted I wasn't that involved. What's your second favorite Gene? Or you only had one on that one?
No, I had two. I have one on Asylum. So my second is Under the Gun. I think it was kind of cool because what did this album come out in 84? 84.
Right when I graduated high school.
And that's a similar time around where a lot of that thrash stuff was coming out, right? Like a lot of the, and I think that that's kind of what they went for with this, maybe a little bit. This song Under the Gun, some of those riffs kind of remind me of Hit the Lights by Metallica.
Okay,
Kind of like
yeah,
early,
I never even thought of that.
like
Yeah.
Kill 'Em All Metallica, and that's like my favorite era of Metallica also. So I think that they were just trying to like kind of go with. I think a lot of Kiss in general, especially 80s, 90s Kiss, was not trying to be Kiss a lot of the times. It was trying to be things that were happening around them. And that's my issue with a lot of
you could see it in well, we'll get to Asylum next, and that's where it kind of starts for me.
And then you said which we'll get into later too. What is
Carnival of Souls?
Carnival of Souls. Like that was totally just trying to be a 90s record, but we'll get into that. All right, so Asylum is next.
So Asylum, I think, is a really strong album. The problem is, and it's produced by Paul and Gene, but I think it's mostly Paul. It was the costumes and the look was just so bad. I think that was their worst look. You know, like Gene had the makeup and like they were wearing all the neon, because that was it back then, you know, neon green and neon pink. And even if you look at the album cover, but it's a strong album. It's just it's just one of those albums. I think people look past just because of the visual, but it's got a lot of good songs on it. My first favorite is King of the Mountain.
King of the Mountain.
I love that song, man, a lot.
I like that there's songs that you love on this album, because I
know I love.
I really strike that. Yeah, you're right. The album cover is a little.
Yeah,
it is a little.
And if
wacky.
if you go and you look at pictures of them and just watch the videos of Tears Are Falling and Who Wants to Be Lonely, and you're just like, what the heck? But that's what it was back then. It's weird to see them wearing makeup that's not Kiss makeup. Like, you know, Gene had heavy makeup, Paul had heavy makeup on. It just looked weird. But it was a strong album. I looking back, it's got a lot of good songs on it.
All right, my only song I picked for this was I'm Alive.
Okay, that's a great song.
I did again, so I think that this was one of those times where Kiss was trying to do things that were happening around them.
Yeah, definitely.
Who was the guitar player on this?
Bruce Kulick. It was his first real album recorded with them, because Animalized was recorded by Mark St. John, and then he left the band. He only did a few shows with them. Bruce actually did the shows.
So some of the guitar playing on it is pretty cool, but this song is pretty cool. Even though it is very Eddie V like. It's like that Eddie V like shred like
100%
sound that Kiss did not do anywhere else.
Right. Everyone was trying to do that in 85, though. 85, think about it. You know, Bon Jovi, Poison. There was, you know, it was that Warrant, you know, just a lot of hair metal. And they were kind of going for that look. But I still like the album. What is my second favorite song?
Yeah, what's your second? So I only had one for this. So
it's one of the singles, Who Wants to Be Lonely. I hate the video. The video is horrible, but I just like
what do you hate about the video?
Yeah, you got to just see it. It's just the way they look and the way he's like dressed and pulls. It's uncomfortable period. It was just bizarre at that time. I know they probably look back and were like, "Oh, geez, is that what people were wearing?"
They don't really play a lot of this stuff anymore either.
No, they don't.
It's kind of just,
which I understand.
Yeah. It's weird. It's weird times for Kiss for sure.
But I do like the album.
All right, let's keep it moving. Top 2 songs. So let's do this one was funny for me because I have none. This album, Crazy Nights, is in my opinion the worst Kiss album.
Okay.
Either this or Carnival of Souls. Neither of them really are too redeeming for me. But Crazy Nights, what did you pick?
Well, I don't hate Crazy Nights.
I guess that's the only song that I would have maybe picked.
So I'm saying the album.
No, you know the
album.
Oh, okay.
But it was so they wait. I think the problem with this album was it was produced by Ron Nevison, who produced Heart and Aerosmith, and they waited an extra year to get him to produce the album. Paul was insistent on that. So I think if this album came out in '86, it still went platinum or double platinum, but I think it would have done better. But yeah, there's it's very synth guitars, etc.
Yeah, man. I just
there's some
thought they were.
strong
I
writing
just
on
thought
there.
they were just trying to be everything in the '80s in this
They
album.
were.
And I get it. I just
They
don't.
were.
It's hard for me to like really like latch on. I also wasn't alive then, so that's a big part of it. I wasn't around for
The
it.
cover's kind of cool. I like the cover. And this is a polarizing album because people love it and people hate it. You didn't pick any songs, right?
I picked nothing. The only song I could maybe pick is Crazy Nights.
Crazy Nights.
But
Okay.
but I got nothing.
Well, I'm embarrassed by this one. I like Turn on the Night. And I'm not embarrassed by that one. Turn on the Night was one of the singles.
No guilty pleasures.
Yeah, but it's just got a great. It's one of those uplifting songs. When I put it on, it feels like, yeah, you want to move a little. Turn on.
Yeah.
Now, my second favorite song, this is the one I'm embarrassed by because the lyrics can be really lame, but it's a good song. It's good structure when your walls come down. It starts off with "Liar, liar, got your pants on fire." Hey, diddle diddle. He says, "Here, kitty, kitty." At the end,
I just can't do that.
I know.
I can't take that seriously.
I know, but the song's driving. It's got like a decent, it's one of those songs I do like. I like it. I know, no guilty pleasures, but I like that one.
Yeah, whatever.
All right, so you can't pick Crazy
Nah,
Nights.
I can't. I couldn't do it. No, I'm not a Crazy Nights fan. What are you gonna do? All right, so let's keep moving. Hot in the Shade is next.
Now, a lot of people complain about this album, and I kind of get it. It's almost like an album of demos because there's a lot of music on it, and it's kind of like not cohesive. It's a little bit all over the place, but I think that's what I like about it. There's some clunkers on there, but I actually like this album a lot more than most people do.
I have two songs, but I didn't. I picked pretty like generic Hot in the Shade songs. I think.
Okay.
What's your first one? Let's go first.
Silver Spoon, man. I love that song. That actually is one of my favorite Paul Stanley songs.
Really?
Believe it or not, I love Silver Spoon, man. It's a good song. Yeah.
All right. Well, that's solid, I guess. What is it that you like about it so much?
The riff. I like the lyrics, what the song's about. I just like I never needed anybody. It's just a good song.
All right, cool, solid. I actually went for the first one. I guess for me,
Rise to it.
No, I went with Forever.
Oh, Forever. Okay.
And just because I guess feel like it was a household staple growing up.
No doubt about it.
Because
it was my wedding song.
It was your wedding song. Yeah, it was your wedding song, and I always knew it as your wedding song. And yeah, I don't know. Just there's a memory attached to it for me. So
that's actually a good video. There's a memory attached to it for me too.
Yeah,
but the video is decent. Okay. My second jam.
What jam was the second jam?
King of Hearts.
King of Hearts.
Yeah, okay. I like that song a lot. There's some bad, like "Read My Body" is just wow, it's not a good song in my opinion. This is all my opinion. But I really like King of Hearts. It's another one of those songs. It's just a typical Paul Stanley with a great chorus, kind of like a driving sound to it,
Yeah.
Makes you feel good listening to it.
Nice.
Even though Paul Stanley's, King of Hearts. Plus, I got a cool King of Hearts shirt.
Oh, yeah, you do have a cool King of Hearts shirt. That's right. All right, my second, I guess, again, is kind of generic, but I put Hide Your Heart.
Yeah, that's a great song. I love that song. It's been done by Bonnie Raitt. Was it Bonnie Raitt?
I haven't heard the cover, no.
Yeah, it was done by other people besides Paul.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. I've never heard the cover, but I don't know. It's a good. It
is a good song.
It's a good live Kiss song too.
It is good.
It's good when they throw it in the set. They don't always throw it in the set, but
they played it once during End of the Road, or maybe twice, and then they switched to Crazy Nights or Do You Love Me. They switched one of the songs, but I know that they did Hide Your Heart at least the first time I saw them on End of the Road.
Nice.
But I don't dislike this album. And it gets a bad rap, but I think it's cool.
Shout out, Hot in the Shade.
It's got a cool cover. It was a really cool tour too, man. You actually went to this tour, but you were in your mother's stomach.
So what year is this? 90.
This album
92?
was 80. Let me think about it. Oh no, you didn't go to this one. My bad. No,
you
went to Revenge. I'm sorry. No, this album was 89.
I got you.
Yeah, you went to Revenge. My mistake.
All right, nice. Let's keep it moving. Thanks for everybody again who's watched and tuned in, and appreciate you being here.
Yeah, man. Rock and roll.
All right, so we're up to, what do we got left? We got 5 Kiss albums left.
5 Kiss albums left. We're on a roll.
5 Kiss albums left. Let's take a look. Revenge. This is the next
Revenge
one.
is a great album. And again,
There's
produced
some
by
good tracks
Bob
on this one.
Ezrin. Bob Ezrin produced Destroyer. Really shit the bed when he produced The Elder. He must have been all coked out.
Yeah,
of
I
his
don't know.
mind or
I don't
some
know what
shit.
to do with that.
But Revenge is a great one. I love Revenge. Yeah, it's a good one.
All right, so what's your
Unholy, man? It's just
same.
and it's a great start to the album. You know,
This is what I was saying is the only. That's what I actually meant to say when I said is the only replacement for God of Thunder live.
Mhm.
Unholy is it's classic. It's classic Gene.
Yeah, and this came out when grunge was popping off, and it sounded good to hear Kiss. You know, it really did. And Bob Ezrin, I think, put his mark on this album because it's every song's good. I don't dislike any song on this album.
No, Unholy it's a good track. It's a good live Gene track. It's good. Everything about it's good. I dig Unholy. It's just dark song.
Yeah, cool cover.
It is a cool cover, Revenge.
And a cool look. They had a good look during this album.
Yeah. So what's number 2?
My second jam is Spit.
Oh, me too. Nice.
It's just like so raw, right?
It's like
a raw song.
Yeah, it's raw. It's bluesy. It's very Zeppelin like.
It is. I agree with that.
It's like a very Zeppelin sound. Spit. It's just it's another like blue. Going back to Hotter Than Hell. It's like it's another bluesy.
I want a whole lot of woman.
Yeah, it's a very bluesy Kiss track, and I think I always kind of liked when they jumped into that kind of sound. So that's why I went with it.
I tell you, 2 killer Gene songs on that. You know.
Yeah,
he was back on that, and it's pretty rare that a Gene song is a single. You know.
Yeah, they usually went Paul for the singles. All right, we're moving. Carnival of Souls. This is probably the worst Kiss album, but do you would you agree that Carnival of Souls is the worst Kiss album?
I do not like Carnival of Souls. I've tried. I've really tried, and I know there are people who love it and like it. It's grunge, and it's in the 80s when they were just trying to do the 80s stuff, they still sounded like Kiss. This really just, to me,
even the album cover,
it just sounds like a stress. Well, they recorded this before the reunion, and then they realized they got, they were going to reunite. So this album came out in '97 when they had already reunited and finished the tour.
Oh.
But this album, I'm sorry, I know there's fans of it. I've never really listened. I've tried.
It sound to me this album is them trying to fit in with the 90s bands. When I was trying to say before with the 80s bands, this was them trying to fit in with the Soundgardens and the Alice in Chains and
the story is
Pearl Jams.
Gene was like, I want to sell as many records as that bald guy, meaning Billy Corgan from Smashing Pumpkins. Yeah. And it's not authentic. I mean,
that's
in my opinion,
like, once you say that, it's not authentic anymore.
I picked Jungle and Hate, and that's a hard one for me because
I picked Rain, but I don't even really pick Rain. I just picked it. I kind of like the intro riff, but again, I like the intro riff, but I don't like the intro riff as a Kiss riff.
No, and it's like sometimes the songs start out, and then all of a sudden the choruses get weird, and it just. Yeah, I'm just not a fan. I keep trying though. I will keep trying to listen to that album. But
nah, there's no point. It gets weird from here for me too, honestly. Psycho Circus.
Yeah, we should have hit. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Wait. Is there one? Did we miss something?
That's good. Yeah.
All right, cool. So Psycho Circus. This is a great record for me because this is actually the first Kiss album that I saw live. Would this come out in 98, right?
98, September of 98.
Yeah, so this was when I was 5, right? That's how old I was then? Yeah,
yep.
I was 5. We got to see Kiss live. I got to see Kiss live, and it was a Psycho Circus tour. And I remember them giving you the 3D glasses on the way in.
Yep.
That was pretty awesome.
I still have those, I think.
And yeah, like even the album cover was kind of 3D-esque. But I remember just the first time seeing Kiss was like a big experience for me, and I got to I was wearing the Gene Simmons makeup, and I was wearing a Batman cape, I think, with it. But yeah, this was a kind of a big album for me. What are your 2?
My first is Psycho Circus, the title track.
Yeah, me too.
The reason why I have a little tough with this album is evidently Peter and Ace didn't play on much of it. They were paid to not play on much of it. That's the story they say. I don't know how true that is.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I don't know how true that is, but yeah. So Psycho Circus, I like that song. I think it's a good song.
Nice.
What's yours?
Psycho Circus also.
Okay.
Yeah, mine is also Psycho Circus. I just even when they play it live now, it still like brings me back to that first time I saw Kiss.
Cool.
So
That's
I went
that's a strong song. There's strong writing on
I
this.
went Psycho Circus.
My second's Into the Void because it's an Ace song and it reminded me of like a 70s Ace song. As soon as I heard it in 98, it was like, wow, this is like, and it, like shocked me or whatever.
Yeah,
You know, that sound.
Oh
Okay,
no,
there we go. We're
we're back. I don't know if we actually froze on the live stream, but
Yeah, we froze.
we froze on my computer at least.
Um,
But yeah, Into the Void for me is definitely.
It was, the original title to that song is called Crazy Sharp Shooter.
I did not know that.
Yeah. I don't know how they would do that, but yeah, it turned into the void. So I did like that because it, like I said, it reminded me of 70s Kiss, Ace, and just that Ace sound was epic.
Nice. Yeah, for sure. I agree. All right. These next two albums for me, I didn't really listen to either of them a whole lot. I mean, Sonic Boom, I kind of liked when it came out. Monster, I just never really got into, so it was kind of hard for me to pick. I listened through it a bit and but it's hard for me to really latch on to any of the songs because I never super got into the album, so it's kind of hard for me to be like, oh, I love this song.
Sonic Boom.
But either of these, Sonic Boom or Monster.
Monster, gotcha.
But let's go Sonic Boom.
Yeah, Sonic Boom, you can't even get on any of the platforms. You have to, because it was a Walmart exclusive.
Yeah, I went on YouTube to listen to it.
My first song is, Modern Day Delilah. I know it was the single, but it's heavy. I like that song a lot.
That was mine too.
Yeah, I mean, just the way it starts is just the great riff, and then Paul, it's kind of like pleading, really good song. I like Modern Day Delilah.
One thing I will say about this album is it does have kind of cool artwork.
Well, that's the same guy, the same artist did Rock and Roll Over.
Yeah,
did Sonic.
Oh, okay.
You can kind of tell.
Yeah, it is really cool artwork. I definitely, that is one very. I mean, there are some good songs on this album.
Yeah, it's not. It's a Paul Stanley produced, right?
I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, I think so.
It's cool. I dig it. I picked Modern Day Delilah also. What was your second?
All for the Glory, Eric Singer song.
Oh, nice.
It's a good song.
I feel like it's the first one of the first drummer songs we've picked.
It's cool, man. It's a good one. I like it's got a good vocal. It's a good rock and roll song. It's like simple rock. It's kind of one of those songs you could actually sit in your car, listen to it while you're driving.
Got it. Nice. That's dope. I went mine is pretty cheesy, I guess. But I went with a song that I feel like became an instant Kiss live classic, which is Say Yeah.
It did. Well, that's definitely a stadium arena song.
It's kind of weird though, because I feel when I heard it on Sonic Boom, I was like, this was on Sonic Boom? I almost felt like it was like way older than that for some reason, and I've been listening to that song forever. But no, it kind of just, I feel like it became a staple Kiss live song after Sonic Boom.
It did.
It's the only one that they really
do.
They do, right?
Yeah, it really is. They don't do anything else during the live set, and they have to do one song with Tommy and Eric. So yeah, a good song, man.
Yeah, for sure.
We got the last album.
What someone said? What's so beauty? Gray socks. Let your feet go out. No, thank you. I don't know. Some person saying some weird things on the stream. I'm gonna bring them up. I think they're asking me for almost like an OnlyFans type request, like a striptease of my shoes.
All right.
A little weird.
I got booty socks on. I don't even.
Yeah,
I'm a booty sock guy.
My gray socks actually.
Who's on that?
I don't know who that is. My gray socks actually have a prison mic from The Office on them. So.
Oh, is that what it is?
All right, let's move on to the last album.
That's it, Monster. I like Monster better than Sonic Boom. I think there's a bunch of good songs on Monster.
Okay, I didn't listen to Monster enough, but I did pick some songs off of it. So what's your Monster songs?
The Devil Is Me is my first.
Okay, not the
Gene song. Just
I'm trying to pull up the album
like
cover.
It's like a manic song a little, It's just a heavy Gene song. I like the way the verse goes. He's kind of like he's got a heavy drum sound, and he's kind of spits out the lyrics.
Yeah, again, like I can't, it's hard for me to comment too much on this album because of the fact that I haven't listened to it enough. But I went for mine was actually an Eric song. I did an Eric song on this one.
Okay.
Was All for the Love of Rock and Roll.
That's a good song, man.
I feel like it was just like a solid rock track. I feel like I just like the lyrical message. And Eric's got a good voice, man.
He really does.
And I like that they let him have some singing time on these records.
I do. I like that too.
Yeah, I really like that. You know, I think it's cool. I think it cements him as an actual member of the band and not just like Peter's replacement or something like that.
And he's got a decent voice. I hate the album cover for Monster. They could have done so much better. That should be like the back of the album cover.
Yeah, it's
they should really have put like I don't know. They could have made a Kiss Monster or something.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, it's got a cool name too.
It does. I know.
Yeah,
it's just a bad cover.
Weird
cover.
Yeah, no, not my favorite.
My second jam on that is gonna be Shout Mercy. Shout Mercy is it's a Paul song. I think it's like the fourth song.
Oh, wait, you said the first one was The Devil Is Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's mine too.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I just wrote mine in the wrong order.
Oh, okay, cool.
I feel like that song was classic Gene.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's just classic Gene stuff.
Yeah.
Word.
All right. And then, like I said, Shout Mercy. You know, it's got a good riff. I keep saying the same thing, but it really does. It was that or Long Way Down. Long Way Down almost reminds me of like a little Zeppelin-ish too. But I had to pick Shout Mercy.
They go that route sometimes.
Yeah, well, that's Paul. You know, Paul's a big Jimmy Page guy, man.
Yeah, I feel like they definitely go that route sometimes. Oh, so you know what? We're not seeing everybody's comments on Facebook for some reason. But thank you guys for being here and checking. I just wanted to check in on the Facebook. What's up, Rocco?
Rocco, what up, man?
What's good, bro?
We gotta get Rocco on here.
Yeah, for some reason we're not seeing everybody's comments from Facebook.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man. We're not seeing any Facebook comments, but we'll work on this for the next one.
Yeah, I'll figure it out for the next time.
Apologize. My apologies.
But thank you guys for watching. So
yeah, man.
So we made it through. That's 20 Kiss albums.
20 Kiss albums.
20 Kiss albums. We did that in an hour 17 minutes.
Holy crap, that's a long one. People are gonna like tune out after 5 minutes.
I knew you were good. You told me you're like, yeah, it'll be like what? We'll be online for like 20 minutes. I was like, probably not. I mean,
hey,
podcasts are good for the long form though.
Hit like or dislike. Subscribe. I don't know. We're gonna do a few things here.
There's a YouTube channel. I'll throw it in the Facebook link. I'll throw it in the Facebook comments after this, and he'll share it after. So if you're watching on Facebook, thank you guys for being here.
Yeah, man. Thanks a lot.
If you're on YouTube. If you're on Twitch, you're on my Twitch channel because we actually didn't make a Rock and Roll Vortex one. So thanks for being on the Twitch.
Yeah, and I'm really sorry the Facebook comments did not come through. We'll work on that for next time.
For sure.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for watching.
Yeah, man.
All right. Cheers.
Rock and roll.
Rock and Roll Vortex. We'll let you know when the next episode's out and gonna be about.
Thank you.
Cheers.